It's Flynn here, and it's been a while, and I know I was supposed to post the video last week, but I never got around to doing it. I ended up wanting to re-record and kept putting it off, and now we're here. So we're just gonna go and jump right into the video. Words by Flynn is just going to be my platform for talking about the projects that I am currently doing. This video, I will be discussing 3 main projects that I will be kind of posting about, and one of them will have their own separate blog site just because it is a short story. So the first project I'm going to talk about is Torque, and that is my novel that I have been working on since the 8th grade. And then the next project I am working on started out as like a little mini assignment from my last year in college. It's supposed to be a short story, but I think I'm going to change it into a novella, and that's called The Ghost Kings. And the last project that I will be focusing on is Spirits, and this was developed around 8th grade when I started writing Torque, but I never really got around to developing the story as much. So I will be sharing, developing things with that 3-part series that I'm planning for Spirits. So first we're going to talk about Torque. It is my novel that I am focusing on. It is my first novel that I've ever written, but I never got it published only because I was in 8th grade, and at that time I didn't have any serious plans to pursue writing as a career. Torque, as a genre, I have it under as fantasy, new adult, action adventure, and a little bit of romance. And when I first wrote Torque, it was really heavy on the romance, mainly because I was reading Twilight around the time, and I just kind of let some of the Twilight themes slip into what I had, and of course I ended up changing a lot of things, and of course developing it. It is the most developed project that I have currently going on. I am planning for Torque to be 4 books. I originally planned to have it to be 7. I was trying to be, a little bit J.K. Rowling and do it 7 books, but I realized that that's not necessarily possible as far as the content being written, and I didn't want to dilute the content that I will be writing and stretching it out over 7 books. To me, that didn't make any sense, so I'm just going to keep it to 4 books. Torque is about my main character, Corey, and she is half human and half Ire. And Ire is another term for Watcher, which is a type of angel. She is aware of the strange things that have been happening around her, and she is aware of her abilities that she can do. And one ability that she is aware of having, and kind of like her main ability, is healing. And with that, she is a catalytic force. Well, she's one of the catalytic forces that I have in the Torque series, but the first book is going to be mainly focusing on her, and then after Torque, it's going to be focusing on the other catalytic forces and protecting them. But, Corey, she is only aware of, only aware just a little bit of what she can do, and she is kind of like the focus. Well, she's not necessarily the focus, but she kind of gets things going as far as things that will be happening, and I have it as like an impending war. You can check out the summary either when I post it here, or you can check it out when I post a link to my blog explaining the summary and things about Torque there. The Ghost Kings is the separate project that I will be focusing on. I will be doing a little bit of postings about it on Words by Flynn, but like I said before, it's going to have its own separate blog site, or this is the project that's going to have its own separate blog site. The reason why I have it as its own separate blog site is because I want just the focus of the Ghost Kings to be something different from my website. I didn't want to clutter up my website between my video and my written blog post. So that's why it has its own separate site. As far as the details for Ghost Kings, the genre I have it under as action adventure future, and by future I mean it's set in the future and has futuristic technology, and it will have adult themes in it as well. Only because it kind of follows spy assassin life, and it's going to be a little bit gory as well, which I'm kind of excited for because I don't write too much into gore when I'm writing other things, but so it follows the perspective of Calvin Fox, and he is posing as a librarian until it is his time to come back into the ghost life. And by ghost life, I mean kind of go back into being who he was trained to be, and that is an assassin, spy, information gatherer, whatever you want to call it. And so he gets pushed back into doing a mission that he's done before. It also will be focusing on Calvin's relationships with the 4 remaining members of his group. So Spirits is the third and final project that I will be focusing on for the Words by Flynn site. Unlike Ghost Kings, it will not have its own separate site. I'm mainly using Spirits as a developmental exercise because I have not developed it as much as I have for Torque or in any of my other stories that I have written and put on pause. So I will be kind of exploring Spirits with Words by Flynn. As far as details for it, it falls under in the genre spectrum as fantasy, alternate universe, action adventure, and romance. And alternate universe, as far as I'm using it as a meaning of alternate Earth, and I'm really excited to explore this and see how creative I can get with Spirits without making it too convoluted or too crazy or too confusing. But Spirits, if you can kind of tell by the name, it's about spirits. There's 3 point of views of physical manifestations of a phoenix, a dragon, and a wolf. And I'm planning it to be a 3-part series, maybe all in one novel, or I'm not sure, but I do have it planned as 3 parts, and it's kind of their quest to getting their life back from taking in Earth members who are surviving, and they're kind of wanting to use the spirits' physical manifestation in their own way. I haven't figured that out yet, but like I said before, I'm using Spirits as a developmental exercise. Every other week I will be doing either a written or video post, and you'll become accustomed to the schedule or lack of schedule in this case. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my first video, and I will catch you next time.